On a mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. This is the YWCA Hour with your hosts, YWCA Executive Director Karen Bell Dancy and YWCA Associate Director Maisha Essex. Welcome in to the YWCA Hour.
Hi, welcome back to the W with Karen Bell Dancy and Maisha Essex of the YWCA of Lincoln. We are excited to come back and start a new year with you, our audience, our listeners, and also hopefully our contributors to this show and to the conversations that we bring to you. So much of what we focus on is related to our mission, which is the elimination of racism and the empowerment of women and girls. But we like to think that our conversation fits everyone here in our audience, and we try to reach our broader community and bringing topics that really relate to you. As we reflect over 2025, we know most of you are probably glad that 2025 is now in your rear mirror, and you're looking forward to 2026. We like to think that it's always an opportunity to jumpstart. To start fresh, start anew. We ended the year with some of the things that you can do to wrap up the year with our last show of 2025. And so now with 2026, we want to bring to you some new ideas of how to jumpstart 2026 and how to have a positive year.
Yes, so I just want to start off by saying Happy New Year to all of our listeners. We hope you had a really, really great holiday break and holiday season. We're excited to bring in this new year with you. For people who've been listening, our audience who've been listening to us for a long time, you know, last year for the New Year's show, we talked about goals and setting SMART goals for yourself for the new year. I wish I knew if any of you were able to keep your goals for the new year or those New Year's resolutions. We talked about how quickly people tend to fall off their New Year. It only takes a couple of weeks, a few weeks before people have dropped their New Year's resolutions or goals. But I hope you all were able to keep yours and reach yours and do things you never thought that you could do. And so at this point, again, in the year, in the show, we want to take a kind of a sidestep than what we normally talk about on the show, just to really be reflective of what happened in 2025. As Karen said, some of us may be happy that 2025 is in the rearview mirror. There might have been a lot of challenges that we've had, but it is always good to reflect and to figure out how we can continue to be positive and aware of our mental health and what makes us happy and brings us true joy outside of circumstances, because they change all the time. And so we always have to constantly figure out how can we stay grounded, how can we stay connected, and how can we find some little joy within what we're doing. So there's this article from the New York Times, and it's by the author of it is Jancy Dunn, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but the article is 7 questions to ask yourself for a happier new year. And I really like these questions that she comprised throughout her article. And so I just wanted to go through it. And I hope our audience, you're able to maybe sit down. She suggests maybe taking a couple of questions and journaling. But hopefully you can walk through this. You know what? I was talking to somebody about journaling because just to be honest, since we're in this honest space, I'm not the best journal person. I'm not a journaler. And part of the reason is because I just analyze things, and I'll go back and I'll read. I'll be like, I don't like this genre of writing. I don't like where this is going. I need a switch up. And so,
people think that journaling, you have to be perfect in it. Yeah. And I admit, when I first started journaling, actually decades ago, I thought that I had to be perfect. And when I would go back and read, I would pick up one of my old journals and I would say, what was I thinking? Oh my God, what was wrong with me? But that is the beauty of it, because then you get to see how you have evolved. And it doesn't, people think, oh, I have to fill up a whole page or I have to do 2 pages. It's no script to it.
And I think
your free thinking.
I think that applies if you're journaling consistently about different things happening in your life. If you're only deciding to journal when you're in a bad space, then guess what? When you go back and read them, all of your journal entries are like, phew. And so that's what was happening to me. I was like, I don't like this genre of every time I go back, I'm like, my gosh. But that's when, people are like, well, then you journal. And you're like, okay, I'm journaling through the tough times. And then when the happy times, I don't ever think about journaling. And so. That's true. Yeah. So I had to, I got to figure out another way. But again, if you are into journaling, and maybe this is a good reason for me to, start looking at other prompts and experiences in my life that are also noteworthy, not just the hard times. Yeah. So one of the first question that is asked here is, when did you feel the most joyful and carefree?
Wow. In 2025.
And reflecting over 25.
Oh, most joyful and carefree.
Carefree.
So
yep.
I guess I have to answer this question. Mm-hmm. Be totally transparent and vulnerable. I will say that I felt the most joyful and carefree when I knew that my newest grandchild was okay, and that she was coming home from the hospital, and that mom was okay. And so I just felt an immense sense of relief. And really, I don't know just about the joyful and the carefree as much as the thankfulness, and thankful that they were both okay. And that I knew they were going to be with me, and that everyone would be safe.
That's good. That's always joyful and carefree when you are able to let go of like worry, and especially around family.
Because it had been very, very tense up to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that release.
Yeah.
That's what that represented.
Let's see. I felt the most joyful and carefree when it's always when they're a group of when I'm with friends.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That is. Oh no. Oh, yes.
Well, you can have more than one.
And okay, so I'll start with the first one. So it's just the moments that I have with my friends. I have a group of friends where we try to go somewhere every single year. We meet up at least, we're always talking and texting, but we meet up every few months for something.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always when I feel just joyful and carefree, because we're not there to put on any type of persona or aura, or we're not worried about work and deadlines. We're just in the moment, enjoying each other's company. And that is always really beautiful to have people around you in your space and in a part of your village where you can just be yourself and just be happy. And there's no pressure or expectation other than just being in the space and being yourself. And so I always have joy, and I always feel carefree when I'm around them. The other time where I really felt joyful and like heart-filled, I recently had the opportunity to move. And so I moved into a new space, and it's a bigger space. So my last place that I lived in was really tiny, small. And I wasn't able to really host anybody in there. And so with this new space, it's a little bit bigger, and I'm able to host people. And so this year I hosted our family Christmas. I know. And I had, it was the best feeling to have everyone, in my space around that island, the island. And, they say like the kitchen is the heart of the home, because that's where everybody migrates to. It really is. At one point I'm looking around like, hey, y'all know y'all can sit on the couch, or like there are other spaces to go. You don't have to, but everybody's standing around the island. We're having fun. We're sharing memories, and all of that is happening in my space and in my place. And I really, really love that, because I feel like that energy gets to stay there and linger there versus going to somebody else, and that I'm a part of creating that. And so that was a really, really great moment for me when I was able to host.
Yes, yeah. I thought about one more as well is when I booked the trip to Ghana. When I finally made that move and I said, I'm going to do this, because there was always so many reasons why. I've always wanted to do this piece of travel, and something would always come up. And so it's been almost 20 years in the making. So I think just something that simple, that I committed to it, even before, all the arrangements and everything started to fall into place. Just the idea of making that commitment, and that it was something just for me. That I wasn't having to take care of anyone else, look after anyone else. This was going to be something purely for my enjoyment and my experience, and it's such a long time coming.
Yes, and it is, and I'm so excited for you to go to Ghana. I can't wait to hear about all.
I will definitely. Yeah, that.
All that. I think that is just so amazing, and we've known a few people that have made that trip to Ghana.
That's right. Yes.
Past year or currently now.
Yes.
So
maybe we'll invite them on to talk about
their trip.
And we'll talk about the experience.
Absolutely, because oh my goodness. So the next question, and I hope you all are going through this with us.
Please.
I hope you're able to have these a reflection moment as well. So what gave you energy, and then what drained it? Are we being honest on the show? What drained it? What gave it to you, then what made it leave?
Maybe this shouldn't be a pre-record. We need some call-in.
Right, we don't want to. Right. Well, okay, let's see. What gave me energy, and what drained it? I always say what gives me energy is when I do have the time to have moments like this, or where I'm being really intentional about reflection.
Okay.
And where I can go and how I'm pouring into myself. Like those moments that I allow myself to have, or that I steal away, those moments for myself to really be intentional about, hey, Maisha, what's really going on here, right? And so I am able to infuse myself with a little bit more energy in regards to people, places, or things. I always go back to family and friends. They give me energy. I get energy from because if you've listened to this podcast for a while, I'm in the arts, so I'm in an actor too. So what gives me energy is movies and arts and music, and all of that stuff kind of replenishes me when I'm feeling a little bit drained. I can also say busyness and busy work has drained that.
Why am I laughing?
Because I find myself, and I know a lot of people can relate, right? You're stretching yourself. You're trying to be everywhere. You're trying to do things for everyone else. And that is extremely draining, where I'm involved in this, and that. And somehow every last one of this, and that needs something from me all the time.
Yes.
It's like when you feel like have you ever felt too needed?
Yeah.
I felt that time. Am I too important in this situation? I feel like I have felt that I am too needed. I am too important here.
But that is a great point, Maisha, that a lot of people do miss because we spend our time as a young person being socialized that you would want to be important. You want to be important to someone, some organization, some entity. But you have to be careful of getting in that space of being too important, where you're needed by so many, and you feel that obligation to. And maybe now I'm actually answering my part of the question, but just when you said that really resonated with me, and I wonder if that resonates with others as well.
Yes, it just makes you where you're always the one that has to be doing or leading out in front, or giving. And it is such an honor for people to think of you and to come to you. We're not trying to take away the fact that you are wanted or that you are needed. But when it becomes so overwhelming, and at that point I had asked myself, too important. And I never thought I'd ask myself this. I'm too needed. I'm too important. important in this space. If I was to be plucked from this space, oh my gosh, how would it look? Like, we need to figure out collaboration. We need to figure out teamwork a little bit more.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how other people can join in on whatever is happening and how they can lend their time, talent, and treasure to it as well. How can we be a little bit more engaging with these other folks that are also a part of this club or community program, job, whatever it is? How can we engage everybody so it doesn't feel like that? And so I know, like, those were the moments that drained me, where it was like, I have to do something all the time. Like, I am needed and have to do something all the time.
Yes.
So
I remember thinking early in my career that, I really don't have anything on my calendar. What's in my planner? And, then it got to the point where it was two-field. So truly, I know that experience and how that goes. And so for 2025, it was a magnitude of things. Being the leader of an organization, which we share that space. So we know the pressing accountability that we have there. Being leader of another personal organization, sitting on 3 different organizational boards, being the treasurer of one of those boards, and then being an instrumental part of one of my colleagues' political campaign here locally, and then also a leadership role in our faith congregation. I realized I was doing way too much. Way too much, and it was such a stretch on me.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not about, because sometimes we think it's about the quantity and not the quality.
Yes.
Because if you're stretched in so many different ways, it's I doubt that you're able to give 100%.
Right.
Or even if your goal is not to give 100%, because I have to work on my 100% ideology, but AKA perfectionism. We're working on it. So, but even if that's not the case, it's a lot of times you feel like you're too stretched, that you're probably not giving what you want to give to each organization or task or whatever it is.
81%.
Right. And you would like to give more, you just don't have the time.
Yes.
And so sometimes it's about pulling back and then saying, where can I really, really focus my creativity, my energy, all that I know I have in these just maybe few areas, instead of me trying, being able to try to focus it and spread it out over 10 different things that I know I can't really give. And then now we're bumping up to deadlines. I'm starting to feel frustrated because I have so many things to do, and I know I'd like to do it better, but I can't. So maybe it's about us pulling back and then focusing on where we really put the energy, where you really want to make your impact.
Right. Before it gets to that level.
Before it gets to the level
totally
of,
guilty of that.
Yeah. Okay. What seemed impossible, but you did it anyway?
Wow. What seemed impossible, but I did it anyway? I think being the president of because I felt I needed, I stepped into that role, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do that. I really didn't want to move into that role at that time because I felt I needed more preparation. But with the members of our group having that faith in me that I could do it, I did do that. And this was my second year of doing that. So I did do it, and there were many times that I felt, oh my God, what was I thinking? I'm not qualified for this. But I've learned so much in it, and so I am so glad I'm on the other side of that now, and that I did stay. And so that's the piece. I am really happy and grateful that I did have that experience and that I did stay for the term.
I really, really liked it. Before I answer, I really, really like this question because a lot of times we don't see how capable we really are. Because when you're going through things, when people look at you and they're like, oh my goodness, you're so resilient, you're a survivor. And you're like, all I felt was struggle. I See, anything.
If you only knew.
If you only knew, like, all I felt was struggle. Like, and that's all I can feel and see. But people are like, oh my gosh, strength and surviving, resilient.
Right.
And that is all true. And so a lot of times when we look back on situations, we look back on just the struggle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't give ourselves enough credit on how we overcame it or we fought through it or got through it. And you're still here in 2026 to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really, really like this question because it gives us time, honestly, to give ourselves a little bit of well-deserved, like, kudos and recognition that you did it.
Right. You're right. Because most of us, we tend to look back and we criticize ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're our own worst critic. And we say, but I should have done this, I could have done that, oh, that was my opportunity to say this or respond in that way or push a little harder, do a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But yet, it is a great opportunity to remember to give yourself a little bit of grace. Mm-hmm. And we just don't do that enough.
We do not. We do not. And so, and then a lot of times, like you said, we don't do it for ourselves. We hear other people say it, but it's really hard to believe it and feel it. Again, when you're the one fighting through the storm, you're like, all I feel is a fight and all I feel is a struggle.
Right.
So let's see what seemed impossible, but I did it anyways. I would have to start off by saying my job. Like, that seems impossible. I mean, we're talking about, you know, what we do as an organization, the mission, the new administration, some of the policies that are changing, lenses that are now changing. The focus is changing on what the community needs or what people believe the community needs or do not need in order to thrive. Resources, whether that's human capacity, finances, all of that, to continue to have an organization here that we know is making an impact and a difference. Some years, especially with nonprofits, you know how they say check in on your strong friends, check in on your nonprofits.
Please check in on us.
On your nonprofits, because it is so hard, and there are times where it really just feels impossible. To reach the goals that you want to reach, to make the changes that you are wanting to change, and to look at the objectives, to connect with the clientele, to satisfy all the stakeholders, to do all those things seems impossible. But we do it anyway, and we get through it anyway because we know that there is a need and that we are making a difference in a lot of people's lives, and we're providing resources to a lot of people who need the resources. And so sometimes working, you have those years where you're looking and you're like, it's a hard year.
It's a very hard
it's year. A hard year.
And I think for a lot of our audience, you may not know that when the legislation changes, the federal administration changes, that brings about changes for us about how we're able to do business, because even though we're a nonprofit, we still rely on a lot of those federal resources, and we still have to operate like a business, like a for-profit, but we are a nonprofit, and so it's very challenging for us. You know, when there are executive orders that are put in place. And so that did bring a lot of angst for us, as Maisha was saying, at the beginning of the year for 2025, because of all the executive orders that immediately rolled out, and especially an organization like ours that serves under the advocacy umbrella and the mission that we have. So it is very challenging.
It is. It's a challenge, but we get through it and we keep the why. Living
we persevere.
On.
Yes.
And the other thing that I want to say, said at the beginning when I talked about joyfulness and carefreeness, the other thing that seemed impossible, but I did it, was move. Y'all, I was in my last place for like 9.5 years. I don't think you understand. And when I tell everybody that, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's a long time to live to live in an apartment." But I was like, I always kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to move," and then things would change. You all know that the prices for housing, you know what that looks like, and so it seemed like, oh, this is just another thing I'm saying for like the 4th year in a row. I'm going to move, but I was able to actually get through it. It was my first time. I know some of y'all are like, this is very trivial, but it was a big deal for me, honestly, because I have only ever moved a room in my entire life. Like, to move
Okay.
one room, whether it's college,
Put it
going
in
back home,
perspective.
okay? And then even when I moved out of home and went to my little apartment, it was still moving from one room into... Do you know how much stuff you have or that you collect over 9.5 years? It's ridiculous. That felt impossible. It felt impossible. Packing up. I remember calling my friends like, I'm not built for this. I don't know how to do this. I need help. I can't do this. This is too much. So I was able to also live through that. And now I know myself a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah.
And know your capacity.
I know it. And it's very low.
Oh, my goodness. This has been great. We would love to hear some of the responses that you had. We're getting ready to take a break. We hope that you come back with us, reflect, take a quick look over your list, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, take the worm, put it on the hook. Now bring your pole back and throw it forward. And just let the fish come to you.
I got a bite! It's a big one, Dad!
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back 9 Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back 9 Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back 9's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back 9 Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Post-Game Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Bagels & Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Back to the YWCA Hour. Here are your hosts, Karen Bell-Dancy and Maisha Essex.
Welcome back to the W with Karen and Maisha, and we have been addressing the 7 questions of how to jumpstart your 2026 and using 2025 as a reflection of what we want to leave in 2025 and now how we want to start 2026 on a positive note. So we have been responding to the questions.
Yes, and the last question was talking about, what was challenging throughout this past year, what seemed impossible, but you did it anyway. So our next question, though, is what habit, if you did it consistently, would have a positive effect on your life?
Wow. For me, I try. I try to make this a habit. Mm-hmm. And so it's not a habit, but if I did totally commit, and what I'm referring to is last year I started Pilates. Mm-hmm. And I started Pilates because of the physical need, which is a good reason, right? Mm-hmm. But then also it was a moment where I could allocate the time, make sure I sign up, and because of my financial obligation that I would stick to it. But I needed to continue to sign up for it, and in the midst of it, my schedule, the way it goes, my schedule just threw off the Pilates schedule as well as, some other physical things. But I think if I could get back into it and make sure that I keep that regular scheduled time and not say, oh, well, this meeting now occurs on the time for the Pilates class. I'll just miss this class this time.
Yeah.
I'm really thinking that would be good. And even if it's not just the Pilates, but any other kind of, which we call a habit in this case, but that and or with the massages.
Yes.
I miss my massages.
Yes, those are good.
Yes.
Those are good. You know, I was reading something that said for some people who work, who have families, right? There are certain things that they just cannot do, and they cannot change their schedule because they have a family, right?
Right.
So I can't just pick up this meeting after
Yes.
work because I have to go and pick up my child
Right.
from school, or I have to go home. They have to eat, so I need to go and make dinner and do those things. I read something that said you need to pick something in your life and treat it just like that, where there is you cannot. And they said treat it like your baby, which is kind of the example that they use. That a lot of parents who work, there has to be a hard no for certain things cannot overlap. And so I had to think about that too. What can I treat as my hard no of you saying, if I already have this scheduled down, then it's already in the schedule. Why am I moving? Then we need to go back to whoever's requesting a meeting.
Right.
If it's not life or death, and that's me now giving an excuse for you not to do this, but it's already there.
Yes.
It's already there. So I'm not going to just throw that away and say I can't do it. We can just go back to the person and say, I already have something, in that slot right now. Are you available to have that meeting on another time or a day? And so treating it like it's something that is really that important to you. And I read that and I was like, oh, because they said a lot of people who work, who do not have families, they fall into that, right? Where they can't say, well, they feel like, well, I don't have another obligation or an obligation to my family or children that I somehow have to stay and do this. And so they were like, take something in your life and treat it like that.
Yes.
And make sure that you are, like I said, treat it with respect.
And I think the other piece to this is something that is just for you. So me going to the class is just me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it like that.
The other, for me, it's a couple of things. So the first one is, I believe if I consistently scheduled out time to just be intentional with myself, I'll just be a better person in general. I think everybody would be, right? So I am just going to sit here, figure out, all the great things that I want to do, my objectives, who I am. If there's a space that I feel I don't know quite who I am, and just, like I said, just being intentional in about setting that time aside and making myself a priority of us talking about it. Because a lot of times we meet deadlines for work. We do tasks for other people. And when it comes to ourselves, we're okay with lying with ourselves or pushing things off when it's just for ourselves.
Yep.
And so being a little bit more consistent with no, I'm also a priority in my life too.
Right.
I need to keep my promises and my word to myself as well.
Right.
So that would just, I think, it make anybody a better, great person. The other thing for me, it is also physical health and not just working out, but also eating and things like that. Being a little bit more, conscious about what
I know it's hard. Who's with me?
Yep, right. About what we're eating in our diet and things like that. And so that's one thing. When I look back and I look at my physical health, I did do some things and make some great improvement. But I'm like, okay, there's some other things that I know if I did it a little bit more consistently, I'd have a different outcome.
Right. Yes.
So those are always good. Again, I hope you all are answering this with us.
I know. Yes.
All right. So another question. What did you try to control that was actually outside your control? Ooh. Everything. Everything.
It's not one thing. And I know this probably sounds so facetious, but the one thing that I tried to control and I couldn't was my life, my time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that feel like that. You know, I feel like my life pulls me. You know, I often tell people I'm an introvert, and they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, for real. My Myers-Briggs tells me that I'm an introvert, and, you know, I'm a loner. And I even expressed this to my two daughters over the holiday break, and I said, you know, I'm moving back into my introverted stage where I just kind of want to be quiet sometime and just kind of have that quiet space and all of that. And it is because so much in our lives, you know, we have to be out, we have to be on the go, we're meeting those deadlines, you know, and all those other things that you were just talking about. And we just don't have that peace and that solitude just for ourselves. And so I would like to feel I have complete control over my life. And I know we really should, and we could, but it's because for me, I know it's my yes. Somebody asks me, I say yes. And there I go.
I think for me, it was trying to gauge how someone else would react in a certain situation or be, and then trying to make it work in that.
Okay.
And learning and knowing that I can't control anybody else's response. I can't control how anybody else feels about something. And that the only thing that I can control is myself. And starting to really understand that. And that is so freeing when you stop thinking about what other people, that might be called people pleaser. But it is extremely, it is extremely freeing when you, like, I'm going to stop worrying about what they might think about me if I say this or if I do this, or am I going to, you know, not always constantly. I mean, being intentional about who you are and how you're coming to a situation or a conversation or approaching work. I mean, that's you being intentional about you. You know, if you have good intentions or not. So I can control that part because it's never my intention to hurt, harm, or whatever. And if that happens, then I can control how I then move forward after that. But what I wanted to stop doing, and I am learning to stop doing, is trying to gauge other people and just focus on myself a little bit more. And that has been, like I said, freeing to say. So I just learned that, you know, and it's not my job to try to, you know, and it's a form of control, right? And so it's not my job. It's not, that's above me now, you know. So, so that's what
that is freeing.
Yeah, that is freeing to say, you know, like, because, well, I felt like it was a kind of, you know, a type of control. I mean, it's, say people pleasing, but also trying to control a situation based off of something I have no control over,
right?
Which is somebody else. So, the sixth question, the last question that she had. This will be the last question that maybe we have.
Okay.
But the last question she had was like a question that her father gave to her about calling him. So, but is there anyone you need to forgive in 2026? I was about to say that too.
I always say, and I actually learned this a while back, that when I start to forgive myself, and first of all, I do forgive others that I feel did something, in my mind, and mind you, this is Karen, did something egregious towards me. I forgive. That don't mean I forget, but I forgive so then I can move on. But I have to forgive myself because I make a lot of missteps. And, you know, now that I'm in these decades, I have learned that I can laugh at myself so much, and I just chuckle at it, and I'm like, Karen, what were you thinking? What'd you do? But it's okay to do that, and I have to continue to practice that I'm just human like everyone else, you know, and I'm going to make those missteps. Sometimes I'll say the wrong thing, not intentional. I know I have a good heart. And so I will just continue to forgive myself so I can keep moving forward.
I would say the same thing. Okay. If I'm looking back over the year of 2025, I can't point to someone that did something to me that I would need to forgive. And if I'm looking into this year right now in 2026, I don't see anybody down the road that I'm like, I need to have a conversation with that we should, that we need some forgiveness and needs to happen here. It really not. And so when I look back at myself and where I want to be, and if I am where I want to be in all different areas, you know, of life and different dimensions of life. But if there's any person at this point in my life, that's the reason why I have or have not done something, it's me. Okay. And so so at this point, it's a me thing. So if I need to forgive myself for not doing something that would have placed me in a different position that I might want to be in, that's a me thing. That's nobody else can. Again, I can only control me. Right. And so, and it's nobody else's fault per se. At this point, because I'm an adult, like I have to take over and do my own thing to be where I want to be. So I'm placing all it's about me. Right. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, I hope you all, those were the questions. Those were it's 7 but 6 questions that we are posing to you. I really do hope that you all were going through this with us at this time. It's always, I know it's something a little different than what we typically talk about, but it's always really good, as we said in the beginning, to reflect on yourself and reflect over the past year and figure out ways that, again, you can make yourself, you know, whether it's more happier or whole or fulfilled.
Yeah. And, you know, it's a good opportunity to realize that, or it's a good reminder that when we hold so much in, you know, and we try to control everything and we try to please everyone and, you know, outside of ourselves, don't put ourselves first, that is actually physically harmful.
It is.
You know,
stress is real. What it does on your body.
Exactly. Yeah, that stress is real. And, you know, we're at a time with so much happening, you know, around our country, in our local communities, around the world, that is so very stressful. And, you know, sometimes you need to unplug for just a little bit. I'm not saying don't stay aware and stay abreast of everything, because that's critical too. But we need to figure out a way. How do we continue to nurture ourselves in these times of the adversity? And I think just the opportunity to answer these questions is a great start. You know, we came up with, throughout this conversation, we've come up with some real good ideas. And I still stick to the journaling. And I go back. I have journals. I have one that I pick up every so often. This was one of my really crazy years, 1995, when I picked that one up and I read. But there were a lot of things happening during that year for me. And I realized, wow, but I made it through. And so that's the joy that I get out of all of this. And so, you know, when we talk about how sometimes when you journal, when it's the sad things, and, you know, and that's that self-expression opportunity to get those things out. But then it brings us up to what we were just talking about now, the forgiveness of self. You know, that recognizing that you're okay. I'm okay. You're okay. I'm going to be okay. And so we hope that you will take the opportunity to think about at least one thing that you can do for yourself each month. Put that on the calendar and stick to it. So we'll take a break right now. Think about that one thing, and then we'll come back and maybe we'll share what maybe our one thing is.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, the brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Mike, I've been thinking, our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the YWCA Hour. Here are your hosts, Karen Bell Dancy and Maisha Essex.
Welcome back. So when we left on the last segment, we were talking about what is that one thing that we could commit to in 2026 that we felt could just give us that time, that peace, that solitude for ourselves. It could become that habit, as we talked about in the last session. One thing that could become a habit that could really help you and help you stay consistent. And I think I'm going to commit actually two things. I'm going to go back and get myself scheduled on the Pilates schedule, commit to that. But I'm also, and this is a hard one, so in 2027, when you guys come back to us, there'll be the question, did I really do this? I'm going to commit to trying to eat breakfast at home before I leave for the office. That would be such a great habit. And that means that timing-wise, I'm doing much better for the start of my day.
This year, and I know we said that one thing once a month, but I am going to become more of a reader for leisure instead
Don't look so happy about it, Maisha.
of work. Well, and that's the reason. And a lot of people fall out because of that. When you're when you are, have to read a lot for work, do reports, grants, all of that stuff, sometimes it's really hard then to go and you don't want to. You just
we are in a
club,
but it's associated with work.
Right.
Yes.
So actually a friend wants to do a book club. And so I'm excited I joined it. And so that's one thing that I'm going to do because I used to love it. I would just lock myself in a room and just read for days on the weekends when I was, and so I want to get back to that because it's great. I love reading. I really, really love it. And so I'm excited
That's a good goal.
to join the book club. And then, at the end of the year, I can tell you all how many books I've read over the year.
Okay. And so we have some books around the YWCA Lincoln. And if you have the desire, you would like to come in and see some of the books that we have. I'm trying to put together a kind of a checkout process, but we have some books that we would love to share with you. As we just mentioned, we're part of a book club because we work with the juvenile diversion program. So we have a lot of books that are about adolescence, books that are about students with different backgrounds, and just a variety of things. But we actually do have a book club that is filled with a lot of our colleagues from the different nonprofits that work with juvenile diversion. So that means that you have that open invitation to come in and visit us at the YWCA Lincoln, 5631 South 48th Street. And you can see some of our programming that we have. You can talk to us about what we aspire to do over this next year. We actually have goals. We have all of our programs that we will continue to roll out. But we continue to think about different ways that we can support and impact our community. And as Maisha mentioned earlier, you thinking about ways now how you can give of your time, talent, and treasure. We're still in the month of January. You still can set that as a goal for yourself. We invite you to maybe immerse your goal and your values and put that in collaboration with us.
We thank you for listening to us here. We are so excited to hopefully see some comments about some of these reflection questions or goals or objectives that you all have for 2026. And we hope that you all meet all of your goals.
Wonderful. Welcome to 2026. We'll see you next time.